I tested all of the new assassin items to find out which are the best ones. In all of my tests I was using one and the same qiyana combo, EQ, ult, W, auto, Q, Hydra. There it is. And so let's take a look at the results. First I tested the damage on one item with my champion on level 6 against a dummy on 50 armor and magic resist. And in this test, Hydra turned out to be the strongest item. Hydra was at the end of the combo, so it got the execute bonus damage. So it came at 1022 damage. Second was the Voltaic Cyclosword, 939. The third one was Opportunity with the 3-second passive of increased lethality. After that was Yom or Habris. Both of those items have the same offensive stats and they come at 887 damage. In case you get the Habris passive, I calculated this as 10 bonus AD, then the damage will be 933. So it will be above Opportunity in that case. On the 5th place was Grudge. Grudge first item, probably not the best idea. 867 damage. Axiom or Opportunity with no passive have exactly the same stats and they come at 864 damage. And the last was Mana Moon, not stacked. And it's the least damage, which is expected as it's a scaling item. Alright, so after that I tested the damage on two items. So the combo is still the same. This time my champion was level 10 and the dummy had 70 armor and magic resist. Since Hydra performed the best in the first test, I assumed that it's the first item we buy. So all of the comparisons are Hydra and another item. And in this test, the highest performing item was Hydra with Muramana, so fully stacked Mana Moon, coming at 1695 damage. That's probably to be expected. In the second place, there was Hydra and Grudge at 1647 damage, which might be quite surprising, but Grudge second actually is pretty high in damage. On the third place, Hydra with Voltaic Cyclosword, 1620. At the fourth place, Hydra with Opportunity, with the passive available. So for 3 seconds after hitting the enemy, 1613 damage. On the fifth place, Hydra with Yomu or Habris, without the Habris passive, 1573 damage. And if Habris had the bonus 10 AD from its passive, then it would be 1627. So it would be over Voltaic Cyclosword actually, so it would be on the third place. But it's only for 60 seconds on the subsequent kills. And then Hydra with Axiom or Opportunity when there is no passive available, 1546. And Hydra with Mana Moon with no stacks, 1442. So once again at the very bottom. Quite expected. I definitely did not expect Hydra with Grudge to be on the second place, but there it is. The only item that beats it is the Hydra with Muramana. So the Grudge is actually pretty good on the second item right now. And then for the final test, I did 3 items. My champion was level 14, dummy had 90 armor and magic resist. And I assume that the first 2 items we buy is Hydra with Grudge, since it's probably the best build path right now for damage, and you don't need to buy the tier for it. And in the third test, the highest performing item was actually Opportunity. So Opportunity with its passive available comes it at 2441 damage. So that's actually quite surprising. On the second place, Hydra, Grudge and Muramana. So here's the Muramana. This might also be quite surprising. I was pretty sure that Muramana will be first. In case you do a more extended combo, so for example, basic attack, EQ, ult, W, auto, Q, Hydra, which is like an extended combo with 2 autos, Hydra, Grudge, Muramana would come in at 2648 damage, and Hydra, Grudge, Opportunity would come at 2548 damage. So Muramana would out DPS Opportunity in a longer combo, in a longer trade, but in this scenario Opportunity is actually a better performing item. And then on the third place, Hydra, Grudge and Voltaic, 2355 damage. On the fourth place, Yom or Habris, without the Habris passive, at 2300 damage exactly. And if Habris had the extra 10 AD from its passive, I count it as 10 AD even though it's kinda late game right now. Assuming that you buy Habris third, it doesn't get stacks from retroactively, so you would start from 0 stacks if you buy it on third item. So that's why it's still 10 AD. And it would give you 2362 damage, which would put it on the third place over Voltaic. There it would be. And in the fifth place is Axiom or Opportunity without the passive available. 2269 damage, so a little bit behind the Yomu. Alright, so those are all the results. I am very much surprised by how well Grudge is performing on 2 items. It's really good damage with some utility, and also the opportunity beating Muramana on 3 items is very weird. So for me personally, the builds on qiyana right now probably is gonna be Hydra first, into Grudge second, into opportunity most of the time. It's probably not Muramana, since first thing is if you go Hydra you will do Tiamat, and Tiamat is already pretty slow, so you don't want to have such a slow build in early game. You want to snowball more, right? You also don't need the mana for wave clear if you have this Hydra, because the wave clear is just nuts. With just like 3 autos and Hydra proc, you just clear the wave, so no reason to get the tier. Then the Grudge second will be just the best damage, and opportunity will be the best damage, and then some utility on top of that. So I think it's really the best build path. There is no real reason to buy Voltaic. It's pretty bad, as we can see by the numbers. Not my opinion, not lack of scaling, alright, it's the numbers. So by numbers, Voltaic is pretty bad, as you can see, and Hubris is also pretty bad. Even if you get the damage bonus, it's still behind Grudge on 2 items. So there's no real reason to go Hubris. Maybe you can go Yomu for the utility, but for pure damage, Grudge second is the best. And you know, Axiom is still alright. Axiom is still how it was for the utility, it's pretty good. So that is it for this video. Thank you for watching. Subscribe if you haven't already. Check out my live stream where I make big plays live. And if you found this video helpful, leave it a thumbs up for the algorithm. Thank you so much for watching, and see you all in the future. Bye bye.